In this week's episode of Assassination Classroom, the students of Class 3E make the Japanese Defense Force look like a bunch of bitches, and they're finally reunited with Koro-sensei, but not before being attacked by Shiro and the Reaper 2.0. Did anybody else start to tear up when they decided to give Koro-sensei a birthday cake and sing him happy birthday? That might be one of the most, wonderfully happy scenes that I've seen from the entire series, and truly made me reflect on the entire series as a whole. That being said, this week's episode was pretty damned action-packed, with the first half of the episode being devoted to the students of Class 3E and taking on a bunch of soldiers, and using all of their assassination skills that they learned from Koro-sensei. In fact, I think my favorite scene was when Nagisa and Karma did this great combination attack, where Nagisa just drops down from a tree in front of this soldier, uses his clap abilities, and then Karma comes in and drop kicks him right in the face. They don't actually finish him off, but the other students come in and they quickly tase him. It's really funny, and it also makes you embarrassed for the soldier. And then, of course, there's when they finally meet Koro-sensei again, which is a very sad but happy scene all at the same time. It seems like Koro-sensei truly has accepted his fate and realizes that he is going to be killed no matter what. He's even kind of happy and sort of surprised that the world has come together to actually take him out. But still, he still manages to be an amazing teacher, imparting his students with one final lesson. That is until frickin' Shiro and the Reaper show up. That's right, the Reaper is actually that guy who's in that weird zip-up suit that makes him look like a gimp. And the Reaper has essentially transformed into an even more monstrous form than Koro-sensei. He still has this creepy skull face, and his body has just exploded into some sort of creepy monster that looks like it would be right at home in any Resident Evil game. Now, my only complaint about this, and it goes along with a lot of other episodes of Assassination Classroom, and it might even have something to do with the players that Funimation uses, is that sometimes the scenes are so dark that you just can't see that much going on. Like, I can tell that the Reaper 2.0 still has a skull face, but you really can't make out a lot of his features on his body. Like, I really don't know what color he is. He basically just looks like a big tentacled silhouette monster for most of this episode. And that goes in line with a lot of the previous episodes of Assassination Classroom. Whenever there's a dark scene, it's way too dark and hard to see. Whenever it's too bright, it's freaking overblown and it's just too damn colorful. They need to find a medium for that, and unfortunately, they're this much closer to the end of the series. Now, the Reaper isn't the only one with some brand new upgrades. It looks like Shiro has also been upgrading his own body as well. He's actually been inserting the tentacles into his body, and they become integrated with his muscles and his organs, and he still has the appearance of a normal human. Aside from the weird freaking laser eye that he has, that's right, he can now shoot lasers from his eyes. The episode ends with Koro-sensei getting into a battle stance, about to get serious for the very first time in the show, as he prepares to throw down with Shiro and Reaper 2.0, all the while waiting for that big-ass laser to fire. So what's the rundown on this week's episode of Ass Class? This one right here just flew right by, and that's because it was entertaining as hell. The first, 8 minutes is just watching the students run around the forest and beat the snot out of some soldiers, which is really cool and also funny at times. All the students have their very own quirks and abilities that they like to use during this scene. When they meet Koro-sensei, that's when I started to get the feels. That's when I really started to feel bad for his situation. And then when they started singing Happy Birthday in English, I just wanted to shed a tear. That was an absolutely beautiful moment for the series. And then, of course, when the Reaper and Shiro shows up, that's when shit just gets real and reminds you, oh yeah, we're almost at the finale of the series. This is probably going to be the build-up to the big final battle, and man, can I not wait to see what they're going to do with that with the last couple episodes of the series. I'm quite curious as to how the Reaper and Shiro actually got through all of the defenses. I mean, clearly they have a lot of things they can pull behind the scenes, and I'm not quite sure how the Reaper made it through, because this weird barrier is supposed to destroy any tentacle monster. Maybe that's why he was actually wearing that weird gimp outfit the entire time. It was actually protecting him from the barrier. Koro-sensei was smart, he would just snag that suit from him, jump inside of it, and jump away from the barrier. But I don't think it's actually going to go down that easily. This is probably going to be a really intense battle now that we have someone who's arguably more powerful than Koro-sensei, not to mention Shiro, who's got freaking eye lasers! Dude's like Cyclops! We also get to see how the relationship between Koro-sensei and the Second Reaper was sort of developed. How basically the Second Reaper was always trying to come up with different plans of his own, always trying to come up with his very own gimmicks, and they never really worked out and became somewhat resentful of Koro-sensei, and that's why he decided to betray him and become his very own assassin. And that's really all I have to say about this week's episode of Assassination Classroom. A great build-up to the finale. Lots of cool fights are getting ready to go underway. I just hope in the next couple of fights we can see things a little bit better. Maybe that's just my complaint. Maybe it's just the way I'm watching it, but I'm watching it through Funimation's website, and that's the way they're presenting it to me. And frankly, things just look a little dark. If it wasn't for the fact that they did some close-ups on the Reaper 2.0's face, I wouldn't even realize that he had a skull face. But that was his original look, and it really is fitting with his brand new monstrous form, and I can't wait to see more of that in action in the next episode. So, this was a pretty exciting episode, which also managed to hit you right in the feels all at the same time, which I think is one of the best things about Assassination Classroom, how it can walk the line between being just a normal school comedy and being an action-packed anime series. So, I'm going to give this episode right here a 4 out of 5. I'm knocking down 1 point because, frankly, I just want to see more of the details from the Reaper 2.0 and some of the action scenes at the beginning where things were just a little too dark. But that being said, this was still a pretty damn good episode, which will get you excited for the finale. So 4 out of 5 from me. Check it out, Ass Class fans. You might see something you like. But if you did watch this week's episode, please tell me what you thought about this week's episode of Assassination Classroom in the comments section below. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you have a favorite scene from this episode? Did you get all teared up when they started singing Happy Birthday to Koro-sensei? What do you want to see in the final battle against Shiro and the Reaper 2.0 and the finale of Assassination Classroom? Thank you guys for watching this review. If you would like to help support Super Kami Guru 9000, please smack that like button, subscribe to the channel so you can see all of our latest anime and manga reviews as they are released, and make sure to check us out on Twitter and on Facebook. You can find all that stuff in the description box below. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, stay dandy, baby!